these adorable little blue birdies, and I'm going to show you how to do it too. This cookie cutter is from Ann Clark. First, we're going to work on the outline icing. I've already mixed it up, put a little bit of blue dye in it. Gonna load up my icing bag. Try not to make too big of a mess. Clip it off. I'm gonna add some water now for the flooding icing. You want to add a little bit of water at a time until you get your right consistency. And if you're not going to use it right away, you want to make sure you put a wet paper towel over it to keep it from drying out. So mixing that icing up. Keep on mixing. There should be about 10 to 12 or 15 seconds for the icing to settle back into itself for the flooding part of decorating. We're getting close there, looking pretty good. Okay, looking pretty good. Run your spatula through it, let it drip. See how long it takes to settle back in there. This is looking perfect. So now we're going to load up the icing bag for the flooding. Most of the time I don't use tips and couplers for decorating cookies because it's just so much easier to use these disposable ones, and you can cut a hole in the end for however big you need it. Sometimes the tips are too big for the small lines that you need. Okay, this icing I put a little bit aside to make it a little bit darker for the bird wings. I'm using AmeriColor coloring, and these baby spoons work great for mixing up the icing. I want it a little bit darker, so I'll add a little bit more. Mix it up real good. Just need a little bit of this for the outline. I'll cut them open later. And for little bits of icing, I like to just tie the bag off because that big clip gets in the way. Okay, now we're going to make the flooding icing for the wing. Load up this bag. Okay, now we need just a little bit of yellow icing for the beak. Yellow, sunshine, my tablecloth, sunflowers, bird beaks. What? Oh, got a little bit of dye on my hand. Okay, so gonna snip a little hole for outlining this little bird. Need it a little bit bigger. Have this awesome little cookie easel for easy turning of the cookie for decorating. So go slow. If you always watch those cookie decorating videos that are sped up real fast, it makes you think you can decorate a cookie in like 5 seconds. But no, all those videos are sped up super fast. You gotta take your time and go slow. Okay, now for the flood. I could have cut the hole a little bit bigger. The flooding icing can come out at a faster speed than the outline icing, since you're filling such a big space. Doesn't have to be perfectly filled in because you can always use the scribe tool to continue filling in all the holes. So make sure you run your scribe tool or your toothpick through the middle of the icing, especially and all over, just to try to get out any air that might be in there. decorate a second one. I showed you the bottom of that cookie to show you how pretty it is. They sell these baking mats that make the bottom of your cookie look really pretty with a little pattern on it. Some people say that doing that little squiggle of outline icing in the middle helps prevent cratering, but I've still had it crater even with that. It seems like the best option for preventing cratering is to just run your scribe tool through the icing, and also make sure the flooding icing is not too watery. Even then, sometimes I still get some cratering. So shiny. Okay, so I didn't let that completely dry before I'm adding the wing. You just need to let it dry like 10 or 15 minutes at least. Enough time for a song. Something went wrong, which I will talk about later. See how nice and shiny that wing is? But unfortunately, that icing never dried. I've heard of this happening before, but this is the first time it ever happened to me. After days, the icing was like tacky and sticky still, and I'm pretty sure it was because I put too much water in the icing to start with. Instead of measuring a half a cup of water like I normally do to a third a cup of meringue powder, I just kind of used a third a cup of water and then more in the third a cup rather than measuring it out a half a cup. And so then it was more watery than it normally is for the basic consistency of the icing. So since this is the first time it happened and that's the only thing I did differently, I'm assuming I put too much water in the icing. So please don't put too much water in the icing. You can check out my episode 2 for how to make royal icing, and if you follow that recipe exactly, it will turn out perfect. And there you have a cute little birdie, lots of them. But wait, this was after an entire night of drying. Sticky, tacky, yuck. So, I got to eat these. They're still cute though. Moral of the story, don't put too much water in your royal icing or it won't dry. So normally my cookies get heat sealed in individual baggies and boxed up real nice, but these are the birds. They just got crammed in Ziploc bag and now they're like all broken and yucky. So after 4 days, let's see if the icing has dried. Pretty dry. It still gives a little when I press it, but it looks terrible. Still tastes pretty good, but I'm definitely not going to eat that wing because it just looks nasty. So if you watched this video, if you got this far without being completely bored and clicking away, please subscribe to my channel. and also like it and share it if you want. And stay tuned for more. Thanks.